Welcome to the Maker Mastermind Show, your weekly vlogcast. I'm your host, Larissa Lewis from the Indie Business Network. It is our 5th episode. 5! Donna Maria talks a lot about big business success often starts at the end of our comfort zone. You might hear that a lot, but you've actually been watching it in person. I was always shy about being on camera, but Donna Maria asked me to help her host this live, unrehearsed show. And let me tell you, I was terrified. But this woman shoved me right out from behind the camera and into the spotlight. I'll be frank, I was incredibly nervous, but I'm so happy that she encouraged me to bust out of my comfort zone and develop a newfound confidence at something I thought I wouldn't be very good at. It's a common saying that you cannot discover new oceans unless you have courage to lose sight of the shore. I encourage you to write down 1 or 2 things that might be holding you back, tethering you to your shore, and find a way to burst out of your comfort zone to set sail for newer and bigger horizons. Let us know in those comments what things those might be for you. Speaking of Donna Maria, founder and CEO of Indie Business Network, she will be joining us in just a few seconds. But I just wanted to say in advance, you might notice something a bit different about today's show. I just want to apologize in advance if we can't grab your questions live and answer them right now. But don't be jealous, I'm not lounging on a beach somewhere with an umbrella drink. Maybe the second best thing though, probably right at this moment while you're watching this, I'm relishing life at the California DMV. But we will be back answering your questions live next week, and we'll be sure to get into the comments to answer your questions today. So please feel free to leave them in the comments because we'll definitely check them out. So let's actually get started. Donna Maria, I'm so thrilled to be chatting with you today. Can you believe it is our 5th show?
I can believe it, and because you are doing such a great job. Yes, I'm so excited to be here. And you guys, let's give her a clap, because I will tell you, this show is it a year in the making? It was a long time ago when I asked you about this. And yeah, there is nothing that brings me greater joy than to see a person who is amazing discover how much more amazing they can be and are than they really thought they were. I mean, this just warms my heart as an entrepreneurial mentor to see someone, take the bull by the horns and do it scared. Like, this is what I have done all my life. And Larissa, I'm just so proud of you and so excited to be on the front row to watch this new aspect of your life develop.
Oh, thank you so much. Coming from you, that definitely means a lot.
Well, as we've told people before, you have a special place in my heart because your wonderful mother was my very first member at the Indie Business Network. So for me, this is like a great, big, huge, beautiful circle with a bow on it. So like how you couldn't script this any better. But this is what I always share with people, that the best thing about entrepreneurship is not the money. It's not even the freedom and flexibility, which is great that you get to call your own shots. It's the relationships and the things that come from out of nowhere. Like, this came from out of nowhere. And so what does Oprah say? Success is preparation meeting opportunity.
Yes.
So I feel like, that's what you've done, and here I am. And that's what I've done, and here you are. So, it's like the best collision ever.
Yes, and we're great to be sharing it with so many other makers and entrepreneurs out there. So we're so happy that you're all here to join us.
Yeah, and I'd love to hear from them, by the way. What's your collision experience? Like, tell us, like, what popped from out of nowhere in your business that you leveraged and took advantage of that you didn't see coming, and then you were like, oh, wait, let me not miss that opportunity. What can I turn this into that can benefit other people, benefit myself, benefit my business, benefit the world, benefit my friend that I have a relationship with, or my first member's daughter, whatever it is. What can you do? What in your business? What kind of story do you have? I bet you have some, and you may not have even really acknowledged them.
Yes, share those with us for sure. We'd love to read them. Speaking of story, Donna Maria does have one really exciting thing that she's going to lay out for us right now. It's brand new. I'm not even sure the whole details of what she's going to say yet, so I'm excited to hear how it's going to work. Donna Maria, let us know what it is.
I am so excited. And it is the comeback of the Indie Business Book Club, you guys. You have asked for it. And you've asked for it inside the Indie Business Network membership and also inside this Maker Mastermind group. I'm so excited. We are bringing back the Indie Business Book Club, and our first book, you heard it here, go buy it now, is Story Brand, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. This book was suggested by Amber Huffman Malcolm of Shabby Chick in Duncan, Oklahoma. And guess what the best news is? Amber is going to be leading the book club for this book. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the month of May and June to read this book. We're going to start May the 6th. So go get it now from Amazon. Go get it from your favorite bookstore or whatever it is. You can also download it on a Kindle. You can get the hard copy. You may even be able to get it on audio, which I would encourage you to do if that's how you would prefer. So the format is going to be, we're going to start on May the 6th, which is a Monday. So every other Monday at 12:30 p.m., we are going to have Amber here for May and June leading the book club discussion. So what I'm going to do is post an announcement in the group so everyone knows what the book is and where to get it. And then I'm going to post a reading schedule so you can mark your calendars in advance what the reading schedule is. Now, we did the Indie Business Book Club a few years ago. I've done it 3 different times now. This is the 4th one. So we do it for a few years and then we stop and then we do it for a few years. What we've done in the past, or the last one anyway, was we read a book a month, which was a lot. This time we're going to read a book every 2 months. And of course you can read all you want. You can read more than that. But what we're going to do is choose books that are useful for makers and handmade entrepreneurs in general, but we're going to be reviewing them from a creative entrepreneur maker perspective because that's who we are. And then we're going to publish the schedule for you so you can mark your calendars for what to read. And then on Mondays, every other Monday, so 4 times, we're going to have a live 12:30 p.m. Eastern Facebook group discussion with our book club leader, Amber Huffman Malcolm, sorry about that, in Oklahoma. She's a maker. I'm going to tell you all about her business and how awesome she is. She's been on Home Shopping Network. Amazing woman. And so we're going to tell you more about her, but she's going to be leading. So every other week is going to be book club. And then on the non-book club weeks, it's going to be me and Larissa here holding it down and making sure that we answer your questions and I get my maker mentoring in for you. So excited about this. So go get Building a Story Brand. Yay! I can't wait. I love reading and I love learning and I love reading with other people in a community where we can support each other and implement. Like, this is not just reading. Okay. We want to implement what we learn in our businesses. So if you need to up your story game for your business and leverage your story for the benefit of your business and your customers, your members, however you describe them, we want to be able to help you do that with this book. So that's the exciting announcement.
Yay, that's very exciting. Also, the book is an excellent choice. I've read it before, but I'm really looking forward to reading it again with you all. I can't wait. And just as a side note, if you need some pre-reading material or some supportive material, he also has a really cool podcast that's really fun to listen to. So you should look into that too.
Thanks.
And like with every show, as you know, Donna Maria has no idea what the question of the week is. And with all the various types of events she hosts and speaks at, she's gotten so good at crystallizing her rock star knowledge in an improvised fashion. So let's get to today's topic. So Donna Maria, between blogging, podcasts, video, live video, social media posts, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, newsletters, there are so many ways to connect with your customers these days.
Yeah.
And it can really feel like a bog to develop and create content for all those platforms.
Yeah.
You always seem to find ways to really get it done, but seemingly not drive yourself absolutely mad while doing it. So I thought it'd be really cool and helpful if you could share what on planet Earth are your top 3 secret tips to creating new content without completely losing your mind.
Top 3 secret tips to creating new content without completely losing your mind.
Yes.
Okay. Number 1, only talk to one person. When you are talking on any platform, whether it's a video, Instagram, Pinterest, or what have you, only talk to one human being, because at the end of the day, you are selling your products or whatever it is that you offer to one person at a different address every time. That's all it is. It's one person. So talk to that one target person and only deliver what that one target person is interested in. Don't go into another lane. Don't go off the rails. Don't listen to people who join in, because they will, because it's public, right? Somebody's going to join in and go, well, what about such and such a product? I read that such and such a product is not good for you. You know what? I don't make those. Okay. All right. What about such and such a fragrance? You know what? I don't make those. But you can probably find someone who could. Thanks for your question. Like, don't talk to those people. Talk to the people that are lining your bank account with sales. That's it. So that's the first thing. And that is a huge advantage, because most people are trying to talk to everyone. And so if you can just narrow it down, have tunnel vision on your particular customers, it's going to save you so much time, and it's going to save you energy space, and it's going to save you brain space, so you can do a better job for the people who are buying your products. So the second thing is, don't be on every platform. Now, let me just say two things. First of all, if you know about a platform, you need to go reserve your brand there, okay? You need to put your link there, because you get a link. Like, don't turn down a link ever. Well, you don't want to have links from certain sites, but don't turn down a relevant link to an inbound link from a social media site just because you don't use it a lot. Go reserve your brand name at all of them. Put your logo or your avatar, write your little brand description, whatever they give you for free. Go ahead and get it, and have a backlink to your homepage. Maybe not your homepage though. It could be an about page. It could be your most popular product. It could be your blog. It could be your podcast. Whatever you think you want those people to come into, make sure you do that. And the second thing within this is to make sure that you're not using all of them. Like, just don't use them all. Like, Indie Business has a Pinterest page. I go there. Actually, we need to go there. Larissa, we need to go there once a quarter or so, just to make sure there's no spam going on there. We probably need to check that off. Right, but I don't post there regularly. I don't share there regularly. If I do a new podcast, I will put it up in the podcast board on our Pinterest page. But that takes 15 seconds, because you're just clicking a Pinterest, you're just clicking a link from the website and posting it into the right board. That's all. People share it a lot, but I'm not there. So, and I don't pay my staff to be there either. So our energy is not being put in that direction, because while we could make a big deal out of Pinterest, and there's all books, how to be better on Pinterest, how to make money on Pinterest, you can make money anywhere. But if you read every book on how to make money everywhere, you wouldn't make any money, because you
wouldn't have time.
Right. You wouldn't have time. So you need to, focus on one. Focus on one. And then once you master one, expand to two. If you want to, maybe not. And then if you want to, expand to three. Okay, so just reserve them, put them on your list of things to do. Post every now and then, just so if someone does go there, it's not a ghost town or looking all cobwebby. Don't make your brand look cobwebby. So go post once a month, or have something fairly recent. But don't use it. And don't put a link on your website to a social media outlet that you're not using like crazy. Like, I see some people, they did one video on YouTube 5 years ago, and they have a link on their website to YouTube. Why? You don't want me to go there. You want me to go to Instagram or Facebook or whatever, where you just posted this morning. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the second thing, is to narrow your focus.
Yeah, don't drive yourself crazy trying to create a content schedule or map for the social media platforms that aren't either less important to you or not where your target market's hanging out. You're kind of just driving yourself frazzled and not getting anything in return for it.
Yes, and frazzled is not where you want to be. Like, you didn't start a business to be frazzled. So don't ask for that. And I'll just tell you a quick little story. One of my clients asked me the other day, literally, this was last week. I see all these people doing stuff on Pinterest, on Instagram. See all these people doing stuff on Instagram. You talk about Instagram. We all talk about Instagram, but I can't seem to get there more than once a week. I just can't seem to post more than once. Where she was anxious, she was upset, and I was like, well, then post once a week. Like, post once a week and go live your life. What are you doing that's working? And she said, well, I have a newsletter. And I said, well, then rock the hell out of that newsletter and post on Instagram once a week. And when your business grows, maybe you'll be able to hire somebody to help you, and then maybe you'll become more efficient. If you don't hire someone, you can post twice a week or what have you. But don't.
Yeah, especially when you're a one-person show. You need to really focus on the things that don't give you so much stress to do. So if you're good at writing a newsletter or good at doing a podcast, stick to that. Stick to what you're good at and doesn't drive you extra crazy. And as business starts to grow and you can get more help on board, then you can start looking into some of these other options.
That's such a good way to put it. It's exactly right. And like she said to me afterward, oh my gosh, I feel so much better now. Like some people just need permission to not be everywhere. You know, and when you said to me, Larissa, you said, well, you're here and you're there and you're everywhere, but here's the difference. I've been in business for 20 years. So I had the luxury of adding each social media outlet on one at a time.
Right.
If you started, like, you know, Facebook came, I added it. Twitter came 2 years later. Oh, I'll just go add some Twitter. Let's check it out.
Now you open a business and there's right off the bat, there's 2,500 social media sites.
You have to resist that. Otherwise, you will hate your business. You will hate it. And then what happens next is you hate your life. And then what happens next is like things start to fall apart. So we don't want that. So the third thing is whatever you do, be consistent. Okay. Now we all know life happens. We all take breaks. Like, for example, we're usually live, but we're not live today because Larissa has to go to the Department of Motor Vehicles today. But we figured a workaround, like we recorded the show early so we could then post it at the right time. So with technology, you can do a whole lot of things that don't tie you down and have you miss your driver's license deadline or what have you. You can figure that out, but just be consistent. But don't beat yourself up if you have to miss sometimes. Do not do that. Just miss them, right? The baby's sick. You know, your husband had to go out of town for 8 weeks and you're stuck with the kids. Miss it. Just miss it. Just come back as soon as you can. Try not to miss more than one. But if you have to miss more than one, the last thing you want to do is kick yourself in the butt and feel awful about yourself. Do not do that. Do what you can. And if you have become as focused as I'm suggesting you be, you probably won't miss anything. Why? Because you're only talking to one person, you're only using one platform, and you're being consistent with that one platform. Now, when I say one platform, I mean one third-party platform. I do not mean abandon your newsletter, and I do not mean abandon your website, and I do not mean abandon your blog. Blogging is one of, and newslettering as well. They are the two things that work no matter what happens with social media. So if you're not doing those things, you are leaving money on the table, you are leaving business growth on the table, and you are also leaving your confidence on the table. Because Instagram just changed the algorithm, 2 days ago? There's some big, huge articles, and we're talking about them.
Yeah, a lot of things in the works that people are nervous about.
Yeah, it's like, I look at them and I go, whatever. I don't care. Because it's not that I don't care. I do care, and I monitor it, and I watch it. But I'm not wedded to what they do. Like, I'm not, when they change an algorithm, I don't drop everything and go read it and make sure I understand it. I make a mental note, but I'm not following their algorithms anyway. So I don't have to be burdened by them. So put yourself in that position where you are in the driver's seat. You are in control of your brand. You're using those third-party outlets, not letting them use you. If you want to buy an ad on one, that's a great way to use them. They make money. They give you more visibility. Awesome. But with social media, that's why they have those sites. They want to make money on ads. And the longer you and I stay there and listen to all their algorithm stuff, the more money they make. Because why? The more ads they can push to you, right? So every time you scroll through an ad, they make money because you've given them an impression for their customer's ad. So that's why they want us there all the time. And make no mistake about it.
Better to be working on your next newsletter post than spending time.
When you send out a newsletter, you're going to get sales. Like, you have to do it the right way. Like, I'm not saying just, hey, everyone, buy my stuff. And it's 2 weeks before Christmas and I haven't heard from you all year.
Right.
I'm not saying that. But if you do it right, and if you do it consistently, and your heart is in the right place to serve your readers, your subscribers with the products that you make that enhance their lives, they'll buy them. They'll buy them.
I think one other great tip that you're really good at, if we can add on number 4,
okay.
is, an example is what we're doing right now. After we record this video, we make some different changes to it. We put it on YouTube. We do some other things on Facebook with it. Donna Maria creates a blog post about it and post that on her website. There's so many different things you can do with one piece of content instead of driving yourself insane to make 80 pieces of content. Really take one that you have and make it and kind of make it into 10 different pieces that you can use in various places.
Yes. Do something one time and get 10 uses out of it. I call this being an entrepreneurial multiplier. And you can read more at my blog, indiebusinessnetwork.com/entrepreneurial-multiplier. Super easy to remember. It's a mindset is what it is. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Like you need to put it on YouTube and you need to put it here. I don't know your business well enough to tell you that. We could work one-on-one and I could help you with that, or in a VIP day or something. But off the cuff, all I can tell you is this works. The idea that you can do one thing one time and get multiple uses out. Here's an example. I have a podcast and I recently discovered a new podcast channel. Like, you can download, there's a million podcast apps.
Yeah.
And I don't even, who knows what they all are. They're coming on board every day. But here was the amazing thing. I heard about this new podcast app and I said, I'm going to go put my podcast there. And I kid you not, I am so not lying. I found it. I Googled it. I found it. And I searched the search bar for indie business. And y'all, my podcast was there. My podcast was there. So what I want you to know is technology will help you spread the word.
Yes.
If you do the work on the front end. So there, I can tick that website off every time I do a podcast. And I don't have to do anything. They find my RSS feed. And why do they do that? Because the more content they have, the happier their listeners are and the more ads they can sell. Okay, so be a part of the production crew, like produce the stuff that people want to hear and see, and it will be found. You can't just do one podcast. You have to, have a podcast that's, fairly consistent. You can take a break, no problem with that. But have something that can get picked up out there on the internet, because if you want the internet to serve you, to feed you, you have to feed the internet first.
Definitely. Well, those are some really great tips. It can be so easy to get overwhelmed by content creation. But if this is something that's been holding you back, I think these great tips will really help you dip your toe in the water and set sail out of your comfort zone.
Yes, I hope so, because you guys, you can all do this. I can't tell you, I come across so many amazing maker brands with beautiful products. They're gorgeous. But it's hard to, a lot of people feel like if they narrow their focus, they're narrowing their opportunities to succeed. And that's not true. It's like, picture, I don't know, a body of water, right? A river, okay? Picture a river that's very, very wide, right? It kind of flows, you have to have a storm in order for it to start to get flowing really, right? Because it's usually just sort of a flowing river. But when you put boundaries around it and you narrow that river by river banks or mountains or whatever, what happens to the flow of that water?
It becomes a raging river.
Yes, it speeds up and it's targeted toward its destination. That's how boundaries around your marketing work. It takes time. It's not going to happen in a day, but it will happen. And I can tell you this not because I read it in a book, but because I did it and I help other people do it. So think, do you want to be the ocean, the body of water that's spread out and, people can take it or leave it? Or do you want to be the raging water that comes down and says, here, target audience, here I am. You need me, like the bat signal. I think I've told you guys about the bat signal. Shine your bat signal up into the sky, and the only person that will come is Batman. That's what you want to be in your business.
I like that.
I know, it's such a great, like, who hasn't seen Batman? Y'all know I'm telling the truth. It's true.
Well, I think that brings us to the end of today's show, but those are some excellent tips. I think it gives us some great things to get started on this week. Yes. And like I mentioned at the beginning, also share with us in the comments any obstacles you're experiencing in your business that might be holding you back, or any challenges that you'd like to overcome, because we want to help each other here in the comments and discussion. So we will see you guys next week for our 6th show. Thank you so much for joining us for the first 5, and we're excited to see you again.
Well, next week, I think won't that be May the 6th? No, will it? No, it won't. It won't. Will it?
The next time we're live will be that day. Yeah.
Okay. So
whatever.
So the next time will be the book club, right? Is that the next
first one? Yep.
Sorry, we don't have our calendars. Right. So the book
We have
club.
the announcements. We'll let you know.
We'll let you know. We'll figure it out. Okay.
I'll be excited to see you then.
You can totally screw it up and still have fun and laugh it off, and then fix it in a minute.
That's part of it. That's part of it for sure.
We might have to learn how to edit now so we can edit off the back end of that confusion. But it's helpful to know, hopefully, that you're not the only ones that go, oh, something we didn't think about. Now we have to ad lib.
Gotta do it sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see you guys very soon. Thank you so much for joining us again.
She said very soon. Bye.
Bye.